Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager Challenge Mode, the series where we deliberately make things as difficult as we can for ourselves by imposing a lot of self-inflicted rules. And hello to Mr. Water, hello Farah, good to see you guys in the chat. Yeah, well, we're coming off the back of two really strong results, and having done well at a circuit I thought we would do well at, which was Baku, with the sheer number of low-speed corners, we followed that up with a even better result at Canada that was completely unexpected. I really thought we would be back down the order again there, but we managed to capitalise on a very early safety car. Completely changed our strategies to adapt to that, and it paid off. It paid off big style, and we managed to get Felipe in the points again, and we managed to get the fastest lap again. How, I do not know, but we managed it. And Freddie again just missing out on points, but he's getting ever closer. We were actually denied his final opportunity due to a last minute safety car that meant we finished behind the safety car. But I think we're going to see a resumption of our early season form here at Silverstone. This is a very fast circuit, and our car is not very fast. Whereas we got lucky with Canada, I can't see that happening here. Maybe a safety car can help us out at some point, but I don't know. We'll have to see, I suppose. Let's catch up on our inbox. We have 11 days until the race itself, and we do have a new front wing, I believe, coming for this Grand Prix. Once again, the board want to congratulate us for exceeding expectations brilliantly. Thank you very much, board. Much appreciated. Speaking of the board, we have just finished their upgrade as well, which means they're going to be even happier. Let's take a head over to the board. So, board confidence is currently medium. They are delighted with results in the last two races, as you would well expect. Objectives, well, we're on target for our season objective, and we've actually made progress on our long-term objective as well. I don't think we're going to be able to achieve it this season. I'd be amazed if we achieve it this season. Financially, we're okay. We've had little bits of debt here and there, but nothing horrendous, so the board is still okay with that. That's good to see. How you doing, Anthony? Good to see you. Let's go back to our facilities while we're here. So we have applied our second upgrade here, which is the CFD simulator, which means we can no longer upgrade anything in this section for the rest of the season. That's going to hurt us later in the year, and will have a knock-on effect for the beginning of development next season as well. But that is one of the rules that we applied to ourselves, so we can't really change that now. Staff facilities obviously not limited. We're on upgrade number 4, or level 4, for our team hub. That is going through. That'll be done in 20 days, so we can boost our staff development a bit. Our race sim is now fully maxed, which is essential, given we have two young rookies. Operationally, these are not restricted either, but there's nothing in here that really needs our attention. The helipad is maxed out. The tour centre, we don't really need to boost that. There's no point doing the memorabilia room because we don't need to boost the team attractiveness. We don't really need to boost the team's morale either. The morale seems a bit of a pointless mechanic, really. It's never been an issue for me. So, we'll probably build that at some point in the future, but, when we're starting to look at maybe recruiting, but we're still the end of next season before we can look at recruiting anybody, I think, at the earliest. So, not important there at all. In terms of our staff, do we have any skill points to allocate? No, we don't. Our drivers have no points to allocate either. Car performance, we do have that new front wing coming on the day of practice, which is good. So let's skip some time forward. We've got a spare chassis. Actually, do I need to make any more spare parts? No. Because we've got a new suspension on the way as well, so we're not going to make an extra suspension. So let's carry on. Just a warning about the suspension there. Again, we don't need to worry about that. We've got a new one coming after Silverstone. We got some scout results back. So we had a look at Michael Huber. We also had a look at Jonathan Powell and Ben Watkins. This is all in prep for us getting a new technical chief in a couple of seasons' time. So let's take a look at Michael Huber. So performance, he's got a couple of really good points. His underfloor is okay, suspension's good, front wing's good, rear wing's not great, side pods are pretty dire. He's probably not going to get a look in. Now you can see he is better in a lot of categories. He's only down in 2, but the ones that he's down in, he is down significantly with the side pods, which will hurt us with engine cooling, which will wear out our engines faster, and will hurt us in terms of drag reduction as well. He's on the list, but he's probably not going to be who we really want to look at. So let's have a look at the other ones that we've scouted. So we had a look at Jonathan Powell. Let's have a look at his stats. Decent chassis, poor front wing, very good rear wing, poor side pods, very strong underfloor, suspension. Yeah, maybe. Again, I think he's slightly better than Huber. Yeah, he's ahead in 4 of the 6 categories. Again, he has that big low with the side pods, but even that is better than Michael Huber's. So, Powell definitely in the running so far, and Ben Watkins, who is currently at McLaren. Let's take a look at his stats. And there you can see this is a pre-existing engineer, so his stats are a lot more balanced. He doesn't have any massive highs, but he doesn't have any big lows either, and he is better across the board. And he is probably who I'm going to go for. We'll see who becomes available. His contract runs out at the end of this season, whereas as you can see, Andrew Green still has at least a year longer on his contract. So it depends what level of contract Ben Watkins re-signs on. Right. Carlton Fellows. We have details on Carlton Fellows as well. And he doesn't look too bad, actually. His rear wing's not great, but everything else looks pretty good. Very strong underfloor, very strong suspension. Maybe Carlton Fellows is the guy that we go for. Let's continue doing some scouting. So let's see. Nisha Khan, she's 53. I don't want someone that old in the team. We've done Jonathan Powell. B Moore, again, she's 50. Don't want someone who's that old in the team. Robert Marek is 36. Very young. Probably not going to be very good. But we'll do some scouting on him. Who do we have? We've got our aero guy. We know about that. I do want to think about engineers, but again, we're a long way off. So we may as well just carry on scouting technical chiefs. Let's take a look at some of the other existing ones. FX is a bit aged. Let's go with T. Let's scout T. And let's scout Matt Harmon as well. Evening, Jeremy. Evening, Senor. So there we go. We've got our scouts redeployed. Okay, so let's have a look at that new front wing. Is that going to make a significant difference to our car? Let's have a look. Oh, no, we don't want to go design, we want to go manufacture. Oh, yes, that's going to have a nice improvement. It's going to improve our dirty air cornering for low speed significantly. It's also going to have a big knock-on effect on our brake cooling, which is fantastic. And we will get a little bit of bit of benefit for our medium speed cornering as well. So we can start focusing on high speed cornering after this, and medium speed as well. We don't have to worry about low speed after this. So let's go ahead and emergency manufacture. Let's see, it's manufacture 3 on emergency, and let's go ahead and also rush in. Oh, rush is going to take 4 days. I thought it would take less than that. Let's go normal for 2 more. Okay, so we do have a brand new slot available for us to do some development, or maybe to do some research. We've got a lot of changes affecting next season. Every part is going to get a 10% loss. I was thinking about doing a rear wing, but we do have one on the way already. That comes for the next Grand Prix. We've just recently done side pods. We've just done a front wing. Have we done a new chassis yet? What chassis are we on? No, we're on chassis 2. We did one at the start of the season, I think. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bank the hours. I'm going to start a research project now. And then in a week's time, when we've got both the suspension and the rear wing done, then we can reassess and see what is the most pressing thing for us to develop. It might be our remaining underfloor for the season. So let's go into research. I don't think I'm going to do another side pods. Oh, actually, I might do, because I'm not going to do another front wing. So let's do a basic research project on front wings. We're not going to put any hours on it, because we want to save those for developing. At least for this round anyway. We want to boost everything because everything's getting a hit. One engineer will take 80 days. Let's see if we can drag that down a bit. When does the next ATR period end? 66 days. Okay, so let's go with 3 engineers, and that'll leave us with 7 to split across 2 other projects. So we'll do that. And there we go, that is our first research project started. Now let's make sure we've got that new front wing fitted to both of our cars. There we go, and let's take a look and see where we stand going into this Grand Prix. So, a bit of an improvement, especially in the braking. That is very helpful. Low speed has been improved a bit more. Medium speed's been improved a little bit to 17th. Still not great, but our dirty low speed has had a significant improvement as well. The teams we're in competition with are McLaren and Haas, so let's take a look at McLaren. We're a lot more comparable to McLaren now. Yeah, I'm quite happy with where we sit against McLaren right now. Ricciardo is obviously the main threat, or the main challenge for us to get past. Norris is a bit more advanced, a bit better driver, so he's harder to beat, but we can beat him. Let's take a look at Haas, because that's the other team we're in competition with as well, and they're not too much further ahead of us in terms of speed. We've got better low speed than them, but they are better in medium and high speed, better DRS, better dirty air performance. But again, we have got that better braking, which will help reduce some of the mistakes. So, yeah, we'll see how we do. I think we can probably get ahead of McLaren and Haas in this race, but I don't think we'll get points.
We're here in legendary Silverstone, where the very first Formula One World Championship Grand Prix was held back in 1950. It's a place where every tuft of grass breathes motorsport, and the crowd are already crackling with excitement. Silverstone demands a lot of power from cars, with numerous twists and historic turns. Downforce is going to be a key factor to manage if teams want to succeed here. The season is about halfway through, and it makes me wonder what else is in store for the teams. Well, there's only one way to find out. The weekend begins here.
So, weather-wise, it's going to be a clear weekend. We've got a little bit of cloud today and race day, but perfect weather on Saturday. No rain to worry about, that's good. Right, let's start by changing out some engine parts. So, we'll go with the weakest engine for practice. There we go. Same with the ERS module. And same for the gearbox. Yeah, I can still use that one. Right, car setup. Let's have a look. We'll start with Freddy's car. We're going to go with an 11.5 rear wing. I'm going to go with a 5.5 on the front wing, an 8.2 on the roll bar. The camber, I'm going to go 3.5 and 0.7 on the toe. Everything's within tolerance. We're going to go with 17 laps, dropping down the pace. And for Felipe, let's go with a 6.5 and 11.5. Actually, let's go with a 6 and 11.5. Let's go with a 9.1, a 3.25, and a 0.45, and see how that works. Again, we'll go 17 laps, we'll drop the pace down, and off we go into free practice.
Ready, check. Ready, check.
It's green now.
So this is our home Grand Prix. We want a strong result here if we can. Let's get both of our drivers to look after the car as much as possible. Is anyone else running a reserve driver today? Nope, everyone is running their regular drivers. That's something I'd like to see a little bit more often. I think in the next game is a slight increase in the frequency of young drivers being used, because you rarely ever see it. You might see it once a season per team. Oh, we've had a lockup from Felipe. But instead of careering all the way through that runoff, he's only gone just slightly offline. Those better brakes certainly helping.
They've locked up and gone straight on.
And we are close to feedback.
What's your thoughts on coming in or doing any more?
Okay, 83% for Freddy. And 84 for Vesti. Sorry, for Felipe. So we'll let them finish their runs.
How's the balance?
And then we'll make some changes. It's probably the roll bar that's going to need to change, but it could be the rear wing.
Oh, we've had a spin.
So let's have a look. It's the rear wing. Okay, so let's go to. Ooh, which way do I go? I'm going to go to an 11. I don't have a pre-existing 11 wing setup, or a 12 wing for that matter. So I'm going to kind of wing it here. Play it by ear. See what looks good. We only need minor changes on everything else, so I'm going to give that a go. See how that works out. Does conserving fuel and pace preserve an engine? Preserving tyres does. And I'll show you that when we get into the next area. We're going to go the other way with this car. We're going to try a 12 wing, just so we can hedge our bets a little bit. Let's change that to an 8.2. No, that's going to be too big a change. Let's go back to a 9.1. Let's do that. That's just about there where it needs to be. We need to tweak this. Let's do that. Let's drop the front wing, push the front wing up a touch. There we go. Let's give that a go. So yeah, when the cars go back on track, I'll show you. As far as pace, in terms of preserving fuel, I don't know. I mean, I think that's more just to keep the heat out of the brakes, because you're doing the lifting, or the saving of fuel is done by lifting and coasting into corners rather than attacking the corner and then braking heavily. Whereas the tyre pace, the tyre life, is controlled by pushing those tyres hard, which also increases pushing the engine. So when you decrease the amount of energy you're putting into the tyres and how much you're attacking with those tyres, you're also decreasing the wear on the engine slightly. It's not massive, but over a season it can add up. So if we have a look here, you can see that the pace commands here on the conserve, we are putting the least amount of wear on the engine and the least amount of wear and temperature into the tyres. And then if we were to increase, you can see that the harder we push, the more wear and temperature we're putting into the tyres, so the faster they burn out, and the more wear we're putting on the engine as well. With the pace, with the fuel settings, it only really seems to affect how much fuel we're burning per lap.
Drop back a bit.
It doesn't really seem to affect the engine, as far as I can tell.
Okay, so
but I like to run the lowest pace setting, because if I need to stretch a stint because I haven't got enough fuel in the car, or I've underfueled and they're going to finish their run earlier than I was expecting, then I can cancel their call-in when they finish that run and keep them out for an extra couple of laps, and that just helps accrue that track knowledge a little bit more at that higher rate. You'll see if we look here that their predicted track knowledge accrual goes flat-ish, goes up very slowly for the first half of their run. For the first 10-15 minutes of their run, it goes up at a slowish rate, and then it starts to go up at a much steeper rate, and the longer they stay in that, the faster they're accruing that track knowledge. So sometimes just extending a stint by an extra 2 or 3 laps can mean an extra 5% track acclimatization knowledge. Which, when you're chasing down that 15 out of 15 bonus, can make all the difference. So I'm guessing one of these setups is going to be really good, and one of them is going to be really crap. because we have gone in opposite directions with the rear wing. But having said that, you can get a lot of variance between setups that are 100%. It's entirely possible that we're nailing both of these or getting both of them horribly wrong. We won't know until we get that feedback. And there we go, we got Freddy's right, we just need some minor tweaks to get it to 100. What about Felipe? And we went the wrong way on his rear wing, so that does need to be an 11 rear wing. So there we go, a very useful first session. Let's make the minor tweak that we need here. It's the cornering, so we're going to need to change the camber and the toe. And hopefully nothing else has changed enough to have a knock-on effect. So we'll leave it at that. We're going to go with 24 laps of fuel. We're going to go for just one run. And there we go, that car is done. Moving over to Felipe, we've got a bit more to change on this one. So the rear wing needs to be an 11. And now we need to make some changes based on everything else. So you can see that with the braking stability, we actually went the wrong direction with braking stability, and by moving the rear wing, we're moving it even further away. So we need to be the other side of the green line. We need to be either there or there, I think. With the roll bar, now we can actually change that to an 8.2. And I'm going to go with that. Just push that to there. Front wing needs to come down now. I'm going to go 4.5 seems a bit low. I'm going to stay with a 6, I think, for the front wing. Or maybe a 5.5. Let's go there, actually, a 5.5. That is still potentially close enough. Yeah, I think that might be good. Still probably need to do a little tweak here and there, but we'll see how it shakes out. Again, we're going to go with just the one run. But again, we have also got the option, if things are not close enough that we can fix with one run, we can bring him in early and then send him back out again.
Radio check.
So again, with avoiding curbs, you can see here, avoiding curbs helps to reduce wear on the powertrain and tyres at a slight cost to lap times, which is why I always tick that. Driving in clean air helps reduce engine temperature, so again, helps reduce wear. It's not really something you want to use too much in the race, because if you're trying to hang on to the slipstream of another car, you are going to lose that slipstream. But if you are trying to push through an overtake when you've got a clear advantage and your driver just isn't sometimes making the move, hitting that driving clear option can get them to pull far enough across that they can then use that ERS battery deployment plus maybe better tyres or the DRS deployment to then just power past, which is why you'll see me use it every now and again in races. I don't use it a lot. I try and rely on the driver's natural ability, but sometimes it just helps to force through an overtake when they're struggling. But only sometimes. It's not a silver bullet. Right. Magnuson's looking a bit slow. Wonder if he's running an older engine or if he's just on different tyres. Again, trying not to use the touchpad button because I do know that that does seem to cause those soft lock issues in practice and quali. But if Magnussen is struggling for pace this weekend, that's going to help. That's one less car to worry about. Ricciardo's slightly faster than Norris. It's rare to see. Or at least rare to see in Season 1.
How does it feel?
And there we go. We nearly nailed Felipe's car. We got very close there. So I'm going to leave him out and finish that run. Let's see how Freddie shakes out. And we're at 99%. If we just need a little click of toe, and then that's done. You've just discovered the L3 info button. Yeah, it helps. When you're trying to figure out what certain things can do, it definitely helps. Like when you get damage, it can definitely be useful to figure out what impact that damage is going to have. So, again, there you can see it shows you exactly what kind of conditions are going to lead to your car having to retire. I have been able to take major damage on a chassis or a suspension and still continue, even though there it says I have to retire. But usually when the damage is that significant, the pace is going to be so off anyway that it's easier to just retire. Alright, so both our drivers are done. We need one click of toe, and it's going to be that way. Pretty confident in that. So that car is done and dusted, effectively. Felipe's will be a little trickier. So we need to change the camber, and it needs to go there. And I need to make sure that I'm not messing anything else up. So I think that may possibly mess up my traction. I'm not sure. I'm going to go with that and just gamble on that for the next run, which we'll do in the next session. And again, if we've judged this right, and then it'll either be 100 or a 99, and then if it's a 99 we can just make that one little click of toe to get it to 100. So that's it for this session for us. Just got to wait out the clock now.
Who's running wide there?
And there we go. Another good session. Let's take a look. So Alonso's taking a penalty. I think that's... Isn't that a leftover from the last race? Where he hit somebody and is going to take a 3-place penalty because he couldn't serve a 5-second in the race. I think that might be that. Might be a carryover. Or it might be Schumacher in the previous race was the carryover. I know he was carried over. I can't remember if there was one in Canada as well. Let's have a look at Schumacher's pace on softs. He's not that fast. And Magnussen on mediums. So the potential to move up a little further. Norris on softs. Again, quite low down the order, but again, it's fuel loads, it's maybe older components, we don't know, and that's still a significant gap. So we won't really know till we hit quali.
Today, we see the culmination.
Time for questions. Okay, yeah, fire away. Right, I'm going to go mediums. And I'm going to go with, let's see, I'm going to go with a 22 lap run. We've made the changes, so we just need to send them out.
Radio check.
Radio check.
I'm pretty sure Farah's running with Red Bull. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit more competitive pace from both McLaren and Magnussen here.
What's your thoughts on coming in or doing any more?
Well, that's the 100 that we needed for Freddie. We just need to get him past the half-hour mark, and then he can get that maximum XP for this session. And we got 100 with Felipe as well. Fantastic. And he is now pretty much done on his track knowledge as well. So once again, we just need to get him past the half-hour mark, and then we can call him in. There we go. So practice has been a breeze for us tonight. We've got our setups dialed in nice and early. I'm going to come out of this with 2 brand new setups for the notebook, because I don't have any setups that have an 11 rear wing for this circuit. And we've had no instances, no broken wings, no damage to any other parts of the car. I know I'm doing the curse of the commentator thing here, but yeah, we've got through completely unscathed so far. There's been no real drama from anybody, actually. A couple of run wides. That's about it. We had one little lockup of our own in FP1, but again, didn't affect us in any way. If we can keep this kind of consistency going throughout the race weekend, who knows? Maybe we could potentially end up knocking on the door of 12th, 13th. That for me will be a good result here.
Good session.
So, full 15 out of 15 bonus for both of our drivers. Good stuff. Right, let's get some race parts fitted. So I've got two engines at 96. 65 is not great for this circuit. 71's not that much better. I'm going to have to go with a 71 for Felipe. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go with the 65. Let's use the older engines. ERS modules. We want to switch modules here. And gearboxes. We want to switch to a new gearbox. There we go. So, into quali we go.
Radio check. Radio check.
So as always, because we don't expect to get out of Q1, we're going to watch our runs. Let's just get around to the start of the lap. We do have a slight offset in terms of engine performance between the two cars, so we can't necessarily judge outright pace of our two drivers fairly. But again, I do think we're going to see a little bit more pace from Felipe. He just has that edge in the pace stats over Freddie at the moment, and will do for the rest of the season. As we go down the hangar straight, Felipe is definitely faster than Freddie here, as he was in Sector 1. As much as I do like the new circuit, I miss the old circuit. I loved Bridge, that was a great corner. Very close between our two drivers though. Bestie actually faster in the final sector there. So let's see how we shake out against the rest of the field. About half a second down on Ricardo. That's not so good. Let's get another set of tyres ready. As much as I like a strong result here, I want to save the better engines for circuits where it's you know, where we need to have good engine power. Plus we're going to have that new rear wing which will help reduce our drag, so I'd rather wait until we've got the new suspension and new rear wing on the car before we wear out another, you know, top class engine. But oh, Magnussen must have been held up. Let's send both our cars out into this mess of traffic if we can. See if we can hold some of these cars behind us up a little bit. That's one of our drivers out. That's Felipe. Oh no, it's Freddie. Felipe's still in the garage, and he's the last one out. Okay. Oh no, he's not. We've got an Alpha behind it. Oh, the Haas cars haven't gone out yet. Excellent. We are ahead of the Haas cars, which means we might potentially hold up Magnussen here. So no improvement from Freddie in the first sector. What about Felipe? The Haas cars are a bit far behind. I don't think we're going to have much of an effect on them, unfortunately. I was hoping maybe we could hold up Magnussen, but... no improvement in the first sector for Felipe either. We are on new tyres, aren't we? Yeah, we are. See the tyre temperatures really screaming through these fast corners. So, we need to watch out for Schumacher. Best he can't improve. I don't think Freddie's going to improve either. No, Felipe's going to improve. Can we squeeze him over the line? He's down in every sector so far. Does not improve. We've reached the limit of our performance. And Magnussen goes faster. So we are definitely in competition with the Haas cars. I think the McLarens might be a little bit too fast for us. But it's Haas that we need to finish ahead of, because they're the team that are further away from us in points.
Race day has arrived and the time has come for these drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel.
Aston Martin performed well during the qualifying session and they're rewarded with a good grid position for the race. McLaren did well during qualifying. They maximized their potential and are in a good position for the race today. And the race will be taking place under blue skies. That means the teams should be able to apply their strategies without any added complications.
Well, we're 52 laps away then from crowning the winner of the British Grand Prix. But one thing is for certain. It's going to be sensational.
So I think the strategy for this race is very much going to be one stop. I don't think we're going to have enough pace to make a two-stop work, even though it will potentially be faster. I think we're not going to be able to hang on to the cars that will give us, an improvement in speed. Well, there's two stops listed. Maybe the two-stop is the way to go. One stop here is potentially a second quicker, but the tyres aren't going to be great. Let's look at maybe tweaking. What about a soft, medium, soft? Would that work? Soft, medium, soft might actually work here. I could go soft, soft, medium. Let's have a look at a soft, soft, medium. Would having that extra grip at the start of the race be more beneficial? It's pretty much the same. Tyre wear is pretty consistent. I think a soft, medium, soft is the way to go. I was thinking of the one stop, but you know, given that the soft, medium, soft is faster, that does seem to be the better option. That's the same. That's interesting. Okay, well, we'll try it. We're going to take a lap of fuel out. We're going to get lapped at least once, but it will give us, with this extra pit stop, it will give us a little bit of extra tyre wear that we can push with, and will give us the ability to push the fuel when we get some extra fuel as well. So, yeah, we'll see what we can do. We'll start fast. We'll consolidate on mediums and try and finish fast at the end. Who knows, a safety car again could change everything for us. So
It's sunny and bright as the drivers line up on the grid. Aston Martin there. They're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish. There's the second Aston Martin. They're starting in the bottom half of the grid today, so there's a lot of cars between them and the podium. Will their hard work pay off today? Hold on tight, it's the British Grand Prix. And
look how wonky the grid markings are on the on the right side of the track. Well, our left, but compared to the other side of the track. Right, we're the only ones starting on softs.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
Can we capitalise on that? Felipe has already made some progress. He's up past Schumacher. I'm hoping our more aggressive choice of compounds is going to help us in the same way it did in Canada. Okay, now we're going to start pushing the battery.
Copy.
And I'm going to push the tyres a little bit as well.
Push more.
Copy.
Alright, we've got a run at the back of Ricardo here. Couldn't quite get alongside. Vesti's trying to go side by side through Maggots and Beckett's. I had to bail out of that one. Kind of need DRS, unfortunately, I think.
DRS enabled.
And even then, the field's still close enough that we're not really going to get that benefit. Schumacher going very defensive. And Ricciardo going defensive as well. Alright, we've got him. If we can hold it. Alright, that's enough tyre pushing, I think.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yep, copy.
It's good.
Oh, this is close, side by side.
Let's focus.
We can't complete the move because of where Zhou's positioning his car. Now we might be able to.
With a great overtake.
Still side by side. And we lose out. We just don't quite have the pace. I think we could possibly go a little bit quicker with a little bit of clean air, but by the same token, if we were in the clear air, we wouldn't have the DRS. So we would lose that. This, I think, is just going to be the reality of our pace this weekend. Like I said, I didn't expect us to do well in Canada, and we did a lot better than expected. A lot better than I could even have dreamed of. But here, I was never, ever confident of a result here. The fast-flowing nature of this circuit just does not suit our car at all. Even with that new front wing. Still got a little bit too much drag on the car. Still got way too much drag when it comes to high and medium speed cornering. Both in clean and dirty air. And our DRS performance needs to be upped a little bit as well. So hopefully that new rear wing will do some good. It is just a basic upgrade on the rear wing. There's no hours on that one. So it's not going to have a massive impact, but you know, any positive impact on the car is a positive impact. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. Certainly I'm hoping we'll get a little bit of boost to our DRS performance, which we're going to need going into Austria. We're under pressure from Schumacher now. And I'm now starting to wonder whether the soft, medium, soft is the right way to go, whether I should go soft, medium, medium. Maybe come off these softs a little bit quicker. Let's take a look. It's marginally quicker because the tyres are going to last that little bit longer. I might split the strategy this way. Vesti's further behind. He's going to need that pressure rubber soon, I think. Drogovic has got more of a chance of at least staying with the train. I think I'll switch the strategy for Vesti and I'll leave Felipe as he is. And we'll see which works out being better. Again, you know, we've got the option of switching back again later in the race if we get a safety car. that, you know, allows us to prolong the life of the tyres a little bit or make a stop early. And likewise, we could switch Felipe onto the soft medium if we get an early safety car as well. So let's ride on board with Freddie for a little while. Let's see how far off the lead we are. 18 seconds. It didn't take long. Yeah, we're definitely getting lapped in this race. But I don't think we'll get lapped twice. So, Farah, any questions?
We just need to charge up.
Copy.
Alright, taking a risk trying to get Felipe charged here, and it has dropped me off the back of Ricardo.
We're good to push.
Okay.
Talking about giving up on cheap sim ports, yeah, I gave up on those years ago. Alright, so we have lost the tow. I don't really have enough battery to get back into it either, so I'm going to calm down Felipe. Oh, we've got a yellow flag in sector 1. I think a Williams just had a wobble. Albon.
Looks like there's been a
Yeah.
lock-up.
Lock up for Albon. I'm going to just concentrate on getting Felipe charged up. And we'll try and get Freddie to charge up behind Schumacher. If Schumacher gets through, he gets through. And then we can just try and hang on to the back of him as he tries to push to catch up. I'm not expecting miracles in this Grand Prix. I'm very, very realistic of where our pace is here. Not a question but a statement. Had 2 safety cars in one race earlier, both in which I would have otherwise coasted to victory. Really wanting my tactical noose, or nouse, depending on how you want to pronounce that.
Haas with an overtake.
How early did they come? How late did they come? And how did they affect you? Was it just that they closed the field up, or were they at times where it was in the middle of a stint that you couldn't really change tyres? What was the big issue?
Good job. Happy to push.
Copy.
Or were you wanting my technical input at the time, and I think I misunderstood the question, which wasn't a question, it was a statement, and that's why I misunderstood it. Yeah, okay. Reacting to safety cars, sometimes it's better to just not react. Sometimes it's better to change your strategy up a little bit. It all depends on the circuit you're at, what the kind of tyre wear is like, whether you've got the tyres in reserve to make a change to your strategy. I mean, you saw how effective a change of strategy can be yesterday at Canada, where we were way off the pace of the front runners, but we were able to make that early switch from a soft medium soft to a soft medium medium strategy. Oh, that's McLaren off. That's Ricardo out the way. Nice. We'll take that.
Was that a lock-up on the track? Here's the replay. Now look at this.
But we were able to switch our strategy and come off our starting tyres very quickly, very early on, to convert to a different strategy that still worked for us. And we effectively eliminated a pit stop against a lot of the rest of the field. So a lot of the field still did 2 stops, but didn't stop under the safety car. We were the only ones that did. And so we were able to capitalise on that by only having to make 1 stop against their 2 going forward.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
But sometimes a safety car will just come at the wrong time, and there's not really much you can do about it. It can be frustrating in that respect.
Push a bit more.
Copy.
Right, Schumacher is starting to pull away from us a little bit because we've been still charging up. We're going to push these tyres a little bit harder now. We are very close to actually pitting Vesti. Just another few laps to go. I might have to use some battery to get back onto Schumacher here. And what I do with one, I have to do with the other.
Use energy.
Copy.
The other thing with safety cars is that not every gamble you make will pay off. There will be times when you'll gamble on a safety car change and it goes against you. You know, it doesn't work. And those are, unfortunately, just sometimes the way things shake out.
Yeah,
It's frustrating when that happens.
Copy.
There is no hard and fast rule as to what to do under a safety car. It's always an opportunity to look at changing strategy, but it doesn't mean you should change strategy. You have to assess it based on you know, your drivers, how good your car is, you know, what tyres you've got left. Can you afford to lose track position but gain it back through overtakes? Is it better for you to hold track position or gain track position if other people are pitting and then try and prolong your tyres and hold other cars up? What's the tyre wear on the circuit like? You know, like I said, there's a lot of different factors. There is no golden rule. I know it's not much of an answer, but
Drop back a bit.
you will, over time, you will kind of develop a sixth sense as to what to do. It won't always work, but you know, you will gain more. You'll start hitting more than missing when it comes to making tactical changes under safety cars.
I think someone's run wide.
Right, I don't think I can stay with Schumacher anymore. I'm not even going to try now. I'm going to get Vesti recharged because he's pitting in a couple of laps. I will probably end up switching Felipe as well because he is starting to struggle on those softs. Ah, damn it, Freddie, come on, stay in DRS. Alright, time to pit him.
Box, box.
Copy, box.
We're going to go ahead and pit Felipe next lap. Even charging up, you can see that Felipe's just got more pace. What I don't want to do...
We just need to charge up.
Copy.
Oh, he's actually going to make it. He might make it back into the DRS range. Nope. It's fluctuating again. I don't think he made it. See how much slower he is through that cornering section. He didn't make it. Yeah, what I don't want to do is let Ricciardo swoop past straight onto the back of Felipe. There we go.
Copy, copy. So use pit limiter, pit limiter. Energy's good.
Copy.
So we're going to go ahead and pit Felipe and then switch him onto that strategy as well.
Box, box.
Copy, box.
Alright, so let's go neutral with Freddy for this lap. Hopefully he'll come out around the same position as Felipe, now he's got fresh rubber.
Pit lane.
I could have left Felipe on the original strategy, but I wanted to keep the drivers together if possible so that they can at least try and earn points through the race by overtaking each other and defending against each other. And we see Red Bull coming in for a pit stop at the end of this lap, so Red Bull looking at a 2-stop as well. He's close. Don't know if I got the DRS. Let's find out. Yes, I did. Good stuff. Okay, so we can try and boost Freddy's recharge rate a little bit. Got to make sure he stays with Felipe here. We know he's slow through Maggots Beckett's in comparison to Drugovich. As long as he's qualifying for the DRS, then that's okay. There we go. What happened to Construction Simulator? I got distracted by other stuff and I never went back to it. It just didn't grab me straight away like I thought it would. We've lost the DRS again.
Okay, energy's good.
Yep.
Damn it, Freddy.
You can stop lift and coast.
Yeah, it just didn't grab me the way I thought it was going to. I mean, I may well go back to it again at some point, but it's low on the list of games to play right now. I've started playing Stray finally. And I'm really enjoying Stray. Stray's a lot of fun. Welcome, Matthew. You are not joining to a safety car tonight. I just can't keep Freddy in DRS range of Felipe anymore, so I'm just going to have to let Freddie run at his own pace and let Felipe do the same. Otherwise I'm just going to start dropping too far down the order, because I'm going to be deliberately hobbling one driver to try and help out the other one.
Lift and coast will help.
Yeah, copy.
I think Stray's on sale. I picked it up a few months ago, and it's so much fun. Alright, I've got Drugovich back in front of Ricciardo, and we are not too far off the back of Schumacher. I am actually going to push, see if I can get back onto him.
Defend.
Copy.
Vesti, I'm hoping, is going to be able to stay with Ricciardo. I'm not going to try and charge him up, because every time I do that, he just drops out of DRS range too quickly. I'm also breaking away from Ricciardo so he can't get DRS off me, which will help Freddie out. If I'm going to get Schumacher, I need to get him here, because he's about to get DRS off Albon. I don't know if I got it or not. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. But neither did Schumacher, so that's okay. Have I ever watched an F1 race live? What you mean, in person at a circuit? Yes, I was at Silverstone in 2003, and absolutely loved it. Met quite a few famous people. I met a couple of players of the Liverpool squad at the time, which was a particular treat for me, being a Liverpool fan. I also met some drivers of varying degrees of talent, from Ralph Furman to Martin Brundle to Sir Jackie Stewart. I met Arnold Schwarzenegger as well, which was pretty awesome. And I was in the Brooklands complex, I saw Schumacher going off right in front of me in qualifying when he went into the gravel, and I saw Rubens Barrichello overtake Kimi Raikkonen for the lead coming out of bridge into the Brooklands complex, to then go on and win the race, right in front of me as well, which was also pretty awesome. No, I did not say get to the chopper. He was such a big personality. You feel like he's this huge giant. He's only, what, 6'2", if that. He's not massive in terms of height. Oh, we've got a lock up for Schumacher. Oh, that's awesome. That helps. That helps us a lot.
Sounds like someone's locked up.
He's not massively tall, but obviously he's a very big fella in terms of his frame, and we're going back to 2003, so we're going back 20 years, so he's in better shape than he's in now. He was over to promote the release of Terminator 3, and he actually waved the checkered flag at the end of the race, but he has this aura which makes him feel bigger than he is around him. He's just one of those megastar actors that,
Good job.
Alright, Felipe is back past Albon, who is yet to pit. Freddie just about hanging on to Ricciardo. Magnussen and Norris pitting. They're on a one stop by the look of it. See what tyres they're going on to. Oh, maybe not. No, they're two stopping. That's hards to mediums and hards to mediums, so they are two stopping. They're not going to make those mediums last 30, 31 laps if they only did 21 on their hards. What does that do for Felipe? Oh, he's too far behind to capitalise. One of my thoughts on PSVR 2, I think it is, unless you are very heavily into VR, it is a novelty purchase that will get used a lot for a very short period of time, and then will go into a box and not get used much. That's what happened with me. I bought my PSVR headset second hand. I didn't want to buy one brand new because I knew I wouldn't get tons of use out of it. I got some enjoyment out of it. I bought quite a few PSVR games which I haven't played. Again, bought them second hand off places like eBay. But I played a few PSVR games, and a couple were okay. A couple I really loved. Astrobot Rescue Mission in VR is one of the best games I've ever played. It's so much fun. It's just an incredible game to play. But it's a lot, you know. And at what, £500 for PSVR 2, it's going to be stunningly good, but horrifically expensive. And for something that you probably aren't going to use a huge amount of time, it's a luxury purchase. You know, if you've got plenty of disposable income, why not? Go for it. If you don't. It's like the DualSense Edge. I would love to get a DualSense Edge, but I'm not paying 210 quid for one. That's extortionately high for a controller. I could only just about stomach 150 if that was what its price was going to be, but even that is expensive. I could buy 4 DualShocks for the price of an Edge. And I don't need 4 controllers. I've got 2 already. Alright, we're pootling around in 15th. We are ahead of Schumacher and Ricciardo, which is good. We're only 1 place behind Magnussen and 2 places behind Norris, which is also good because it looks like neither of those are going to score points here as well. So I'm quite happy for the race to finish right now. You know, no one's going to gain on us. No one's going to pull away from us in the constructors. We're going to hold status quo. Yeah, using VR can generate motion sickness. I started off small. I started using it for about 45 minutes to an hour at most, just to build up a tolerance, to get used to it. And then after a few goes, I'm like, okay, I can stretch this, hour and a half, 2 hours. I never play for more than about 2 hours with VR in one sitting, but you know, you build up a little bit of a tolerance to it, you know, the more you use it. So it's not you know, I was feeling a bit ill after the first use, so I'll never be able to use it. You just got to acclimatise to it. You know, lots of small sessions. Build up. Yeah, you're in the same boat as me then, Mr. Water. I was considering the Edge until I saw the price. And like I said, for about 150 quid I could just about stomach that, but £210, it's just way too much. Do I play VR on F122? No. I barely play F122 at all anymore. Ever since this game came out, I've barely touched F122. I don't enjoy F122 as much as I did with F121. Really enjoyed that. I'm not enjoying F122 so much. I don't feel it's as good value as the previous incarnation. And the VR's only on PC anyway. Unless they've added that with a patch, which I'm pretty sure they said they weren't going to do. Maybe F123 will have VR2 support, but yeah, PSVR is not supported as far as I know. I have played Gran Turismo Sport in VR. That's kind of cool, but limited. You can only drive against one other car. And basically what's a time trial kind of situation. Great experience, but limited. Rogue Squadron in VR is awesome. That really is fantastic, and there's just no way of describing how great it feels to sit in the cockpit of an X-Wing without actually experiencing it for yourself. TIE Fighters not so much, but you know, the X-Wing in VR is incredible, and the A-Wings as well. We got a spin in Sector 3. That is one of the Rebels, so it doesn't help us. That's Perez. No, Verstappen.
Someone spun out. Let's take a closer look. Now here we see Max Verstappen. Look at that!
Right, Joe finally pits, so he's on a one stop. Debating whether or not to push onto the back of Ricciardo a little bit with Vesti. He's got a tyre advantage, and I don't want to burn out these tyres trying to catch him. Let's try a little bit of DRS and a little bit of fuel push.
Use energy if you need it, use energy.
Yeah, copy.
See if we can't close that gap down a little bit. Ooh, we have jumped Joe, although he is on a one stop. We have got to make another stop with Felipe yet. What's he gone on to? He's gone on to hards. Okay, so that will help us a little bit, but realistically his pace is too strong for us to stay ahead of him anyway, I think. Might help us be able to stay with him though when he does get past us. We're not really making a huge impact on Ricciardo, and we're pretty much out of battery now.
We have low battery.
We're just so slow through Maggots and Beckett's with Freddy. He loses 0.3 of a second through there. And it has a big knock-on effect all the way down the hangar straight as well. Yeah, we closed about 0.8 of a second, but I'm not closing fast enough. Rick and Morty in VR was fun, but fiddly. Helps if you're a fan of the show. So many Easter eggs for fans of the show. I still haven't played Moss yet. That's supposed to be really good. At some point I'm going to unpack. Now I've got my PS4 set up properly and I've got my other TV set up again. At some point I am going to break out the VR again. And I'm losing time to Ricardo again.
Okay,
So
lifting coast.
Okay, copy.
let's knock that on the head. At least I've upped the gap to Schumacher slightly. They should have kept classic cars in F1. I wasn't a massive fan of the F1 of the classic F1 cars. I mean, I didn't really, you know, I couldn't drive them without traction control, and when you drove them with traction control, they were brutally slow. I did teach myself in F1 2021 to drive with without traction control and manual gears, but yeah, I could never drive those classic F1 cars without without traction control, and with them they were just too slow to do the challenges. Plus, it just felt weird racing cars of different eras against each other. You know, it would be nice to see a situation where you had a lot more cars from a particular era, you know, that were all competitive with each other, rather than just having a race, and I use race in quotes there, like a 3-lap race where you've got 4 Williams and 8 McLarens on the grid. It's just, you know, they were a bit of a novelty. I didn't get much out of them. I am impressed with the fact that Zhou is still behind Felipe here. I'm kind of hoping that Zhou's going to get past, so that I'm going to actually try and encourage the overtake. I'm hoping that Zhou gets past so I can hang on to the back of him and close up on Magnussen. Oh, yellow flag in sector 3. That is a Williams. It's in sector 1, not sector 3.
Yellow ahead. Okay, copy.
We can take a look now. Now let's look. We're watching Nicholas Latifi. And there it is. That's...
So Latifi continuing his spin fest. Was it 2 lockups and 3 spins at Canada for Latifi? Alright, come on Joe, make the move. Surely this time. There we go.
Let's focus.
Right, let's try and hang on to the back of him now. This is where he sprints away from me.
Position gained for Alfa Romeo.
But yeah, if I can close that gap down to Magnussen a little bit, that will help. We've had to lose about 6-7 tenths of a second to get Joe in front of us. And we've let Ricciardo close up a bit, but hopefully now we can pull away again. And we managed to get a little bit more battery in the car, which is also a good thing. That's assuming we can hang on to him though. I'm going to use some battery just to be on the safe side here. Yeah, we just dropped out of range. Got to stay with him. Look how slow we are coming out some of these corners. This is where we're being hurt by our car. Oh, this plan has backfired horribly. Should have kept track position.
We can push more.
Yeah, copy.
No saving required.
Copy.
So we just need to push now.
Even with tyres, fuel and battery, I'm not catching at all. Alright, well we are close to our pit stop, so we'll switch on to fresher rubber and hope that that helps. Joe's gone anyway, he's one stopping, so as long as we can maintain an advantage over Ricciardo and Schumacher, then that's a good thing. And if we can maybe get a lucky safety car or a couple of retirements, we can move up the order a little bit. Norris is in 12th and Magnussen's 13th. I think they both need to stop again. They might be able to get, I don't think they'll go to the end, but they might go on to softs. Alright, we've got enough of a gap to double stop our drivers, I believe.
Box, box.
Yeah, copy. Box, box.
Okay, box, 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 box.
Copy, box.
This is another reason why I didn't want to use good engines on this circuit, because they wouldn't have made a significant enough difference to our pace to get us into the points. And we would have wasted where on We would have wasted good wear on an engine that we couldn't really afford to waste it on. Generally, when a game's going to put a McLaren into the game as a classic McLaren, it's going to be the 88 McLaren, which was the all-conquering 15 out of 16 wins. It's one of the absolute pinnacles of Formula One, that car.
Copy that.
So utterly dominant. But that is also in an era where Honda were using 4, 5, 6 engines a weekend. They would use an engine in each practice. They would use an engine specifically for qualifying and another engine for the race. Crazy times. Ah, perfect double stack stop there.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yeah.
Alright, we're about to get lapped.
So back off.
Copy.
No, we've already been lapped. Leclerc's already gone through. That's Perez behind us. And there's Sainz. And there was Freddie. Let's just keep an eye on Sainz as he battles Perez. Oh, Perez dives into the pits. I was going to say, let's watch the battle as they fight each other and lap me in the process, and one of them immediately dives into the pits. Vesti might have to watch fuel. No, I'm a lap down. I've still got 17 laps to go. These front runners on brand new tyres, they're going to lap me again, even if I get unlapped by them pitting. Fuel's not an issue. Plus, you know, we started with minus 2 kilos, and we've saved more than half of that fuel and pushed fuel on occasion in the opening 36 laps. So even just pushing, you know, just driving like this, I would probably still save enough to get back to fuel zero. Right, let's see what our new tyres are doing for us in terms of pace. Well, we're going to have to wait an extra lap to find out for Felipe, because he's just had to pull over. And there goes Verstappen. Leclerc's going to the end, so Leclerc has already stopped. Maybe Leclerc 1 stopped. Sainz must be 1 stopping as well, looking at those tyres. So yeah, I don't have to worry about unlapping or being unlapped by pit stops. It's just not going to be an issue. Can I stay on the back of Sainz here? Probably not. So yeah, last lap pace for Vestia, 1:33.5. That's still slower than Magnussen. Sorry, Joe, but slightly faster than Magnussen, who I think is going to pit again. It's slightly faster than Norris, but again, not by much, by a tenth. Drugovic obviously had to pull over, so he will have lost time. Ricciardo and Schumacher both in the pits. Here we go. Let's see. Medium tyres for Ricciardo. Should be able to get ahead of Ricciardo with at least one of my cars. Medium tyres for Schumacher as well. Oh, that was closer than I would have liked. .137.37. That's still not great pace. And now I've got Ricciardo all over the back of me. At least I've got a comfortable margin to Schumacher. Can I check the strategies to see what they did?
We're not okay on fuel.
Yeah, you can see there the one stoppers and the two stoppers. So the Red Bulls two stop, the Ferraris are one stopping. Looks like Mercedes are one stopping as well with Hamilton. Russell's on a two stop. Norris is potentially going to stop again. He's probably going to stop at the next couple of laps, I would imagine, as is Magnussen. Everyone else, I think, now is going to the end. So it's just Magnussen and Norris, I think, maybe Sainz. Even then, I'm not so sure about that. I can't see the Ferraris pitting. Well, I can't see Leclerc pitting. I can see Sainz maybe pitting. But yeah, that does not affect us. We're so far down the order, so far off the pace. All we can do is just try and defend 15th from Ricciardo. Like I said, we need a safety car to have any chance of gaining positions. And even then, the field is so spaced out that unless that safety car stays out for multiple laps, even that might not be enough. And there's Norris and Magnussen both pitting, as predicted. And they're too far ahead for us to do anything, but it does drop them further down the order again, so again, it keeps them out of the points, which is the point. For us, we don't want either of those two getting in the points. We want to keep the status quo in terms of the point deficit to McLaren and the 8-point lead over, or 7-point lead over Haas. I think it's 13, 12 and 8. It's 13, 12 and 4, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, 13, 12 and 4. So we want to keep that 8-point lead over Haas and that 1-point deficit to McLaren untouched, because we can't do anything else. What's this thing with Warhammer at the moment? There's so many Warhammer games, you need to narrow that down. There's a ridiculous number of Warhammer games. And there's a few on sale right now as well, which means that might tempt other people to play them that haven't played them before. I actually picked one up myself recently, Battle Sector. That's not bad. I do like the look of Shooters and Teeth, the new the new Orc multiplayer game. That looks a lot of fun. Warhammer Marine. Space Marine 2 comes out later, or comes out next year. The original Space Marine was a PlayStation 3 game, which I really enjoyed. But Space Marine 2 comes out next year, and it looks great. And I will be buying that. Do I try and hold up Ricardo to allow Vesti a chance of maybe catching up? It's a risk. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try and slow down Felipe a little bit. Let's see if I can hold back Ricardo.
Let's make sure we keep them behind.
I don't usually use that tactic, that driver command, because it doesn't normally go very well whenever I do, but we'll give it a go. This will significantly slow down Drugovic. You can see Vesti's closed in over a second already by getting Freddie to go super defensive. Sorry, getting Felipe to go super defensive. Seems to be working. Oh, I say that and immediately Ricardo dies at the inside. You've got to turn that off when you're not wanting to use it, because they'll continue to drive ultra defensive even if there's no one to defend against. So you have to be really careful using that command and make sure you turn it off when you finish with it.
Use energy if you need.
Yeah, copy.
Energy's good.
Copy.
Use energy.
Okay, copy.
Happy to push.
Copy.
You can stop, lift and coast.
Copy.
Ah, don't tell me I didn't make it. God damn it, I didn't make it. With either driver.
Energy if you need it.
Copy.
You know what? I'm about to get lapped. Let's get that out of the way.
Some lift and coast will help that.
Copy.
Alright, so our drivers are back together again. We've lost quite a bit of ground to Ricardo in the process. But I have got them together, which is the important thing. So let's go neutral. And now hopefully they can help each other out. This is the closest they've been all race since the start, I think. Right, so question is now, will we catch back up to Ricardo? And if we do, will that happen before we get caught by Verstappen, who is closing in on the back of us? And already Freddie is struggling to stay with Felipe again.
No saving required.
Yeah, copy.
So Ricardo's doing a 132.7 now that he's not, you know, behind us. I don't think we've got that kind of pace in the car. No, we don't.
Save fuel.
I can't even keep the two drivers together. Again, Vesti just can't keep up here. He is running a weaker
All
engine,
okay on fuel,
so it's
you can
not
do what
that
you want for
surprising.
speed.
Plus, you know, we know that Drogovic has got that little bit more pace than him. It's frustrating though. 16th and 17th, it's not great, but it's kind of where I was expecting to be. Just going to look after the car now.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yeah, copy.
Drop back a bit.
Yeah, copy.
There's nothing left to fight for, so we may as well just protect the car for the last few laps. As long as we don't lose out to Schumacher as well, I'll be happy. Schumacher's doing a 133.0. Let's see what we do with a full lap at this pace. We might have to speed up again. He's closing pretty quick.
We're not okay on fuel.
We're fine on fuel.
Copy.
There's only one battle on the track right now, and it's not really a battle.
Focus on the last 6 laps.
But Russell is catching. Actually, it is a battle. Russell is catching. We lost out a bit through there, but he's got better tyres. Theoretically, he should be able to close down Alonso. This is the only real fight on the grid. Although Ocon actually is fighting for the last points position. And again, I think he's got the tyre advantage. He does. So, that's that battle done. Ocon's through and he's going to stay ahead, I'm pretty sure of that. Let's go back to Russell and Alonso. Schumacher's closing too fast. We're going to have to go back to a little bit more
We
pace.
just need to push now.
Okay, copy.
At least with Vesti anyway. Let's burn off some of that extra fuel that we don't need.
Five to go.
Yeah, Tsunoda's already been dropped by a second. So this is it. This is the last fight on the grid. Unless Schumacher catches us. That Alpine looks very quick in a straight line. But that's where the grip comes into play on those medium tyres, those fresher medium tyres. Now, has he got the pace to pull away?
Four laps to go.
3 laps to go.
So use energy if you need it.
Copy.
he's gapped him. Just about. Also coming back under braking. Russell does have to get past the Williams. Ooh, that was clunky. And that's it. Alonso has been dropped. So, fight over. Schumacher is still lurking. I'm trying to get Vesti back into the slipstream and DRS of Drugovich. Even on this difference in pace setting, look, he's using battery, he's using 2 steps higher on the tyres. He still is really struggling to close that gap. He's just about managed it, but still hasn't got DRS. This has not been a good circuit for Vesti, and I'm worried it's going to be the same at Austria as well. He's going to struggle against Felipe's pace there. There's a lot more DRS on that track though, so maybe he'll be able to stay close enough through the second half of the lap to stay with him. Because the first half of the lap is all DRS.
We need to charge DRS.
Yeah, copy.
Alright, here we go. Lap and a half to go.
Save fuel, save fuel.
Copy.
Last lap.
They still can't get the DRS. Well, we've got a 2-second lead. It's coming down every corner, but we managed to keep Schumacher just out of striking range. That was a lot more uncomfortable than I would have liked though. And there we go, race over. So, a disappointing result, but an expected result. I really didn't think we would have any kind of pace to challenge here, and it, that was certainly what was born out of that race there. 16th and 17th, not great, but Haas didn't score. Magnussen in 14th, Schumacher in 18th. McLaren didn't score. With Norris in 13th, Ricciardo in 15th. Gasly did pick up a couple of points, which pulls them a little bit further away from us, but I don't think we've got the pace to challenge AlphaTauri, or at least not Pierre Gasly's AlphaTauri anyway. He is significantly faster than Yuki. So, yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately. You can see 18 points now for AlphaTauri, and all 18 points have been scored by Gasly. Tsunoda yet to hit the mark. But we are still in 8th in the Constructors. We're still within a point of McLaren. We're still 8 points ahead of Haas. So, despite it being a rough race, we didn't lose any ground against our competitors, which is the important thing. We didn't get a huge number of points for either driver, really. because we couldn't keep them together, so they didn't get to do much in terms of attacking or defending for that matter. And you can see just 3 successful overtakes for Freddy, 2 defences, 6 failed overtakes, 1 failed defence. Not hugely better for Felipe either. 7 overtakes, 6 defences and 1 failed overtake, 6 failed defences. He gets a few more points, but not massively. So we do end up with a nice little bit of cash, 4.5 mil, and we do actually get a new development point for both drivers as well, which was also important. Let's go ahead and issue those straight away. Once again, we've got to get Freddy's braking up. That is his biggest Achilles heel right now. You can see the pace stats much better for Felipe. I'm tempted to balance them out a little bit. This is why I think Freddy's going to be a better driver overall in a season or two's time, because he just leads Felipe in every stat except for braking. So while Felipe's got that better braking, he has got more pace. But once Freddy's braking catches up, he will eventually become the quicker driver. Let's keep pushing Felipe's pace as well. Let's not hamstring him, because he's going to need to start focusing on other areas going forward in the future. Let's at least make him quick in the process. We have no... Oh, no, we do have a point for Chris Cronin. We are going to improve feedback, so we can just get that up to 80. And then we'll focus on pit crew. Ben is still a way off another point. And a couple of weeks away, 3 weeks away for Alessandro. And Andrew Green is still a long way off his next point. We've got a new Grand Prix in 4 days, but we do have new car parts, and we're going to go ahead and get those sorted right now before we start the next race. So let's just get through our emails. We've got 2 development points for Nico right now. Yeah, what the hell? Let's give him some points. There we go. Just in case he ends up on the grid next season or season after. I'm probably going to keep him for the rest of his contract. So we've got him for this year and next, and I'll probably keep him. Maybe I'll get a young rookie. I doubt it though. So we've got new car parts coming tomorrow and in 4 days. So let's go ahead and skip to those. That's the new suspension. So even rushing, I'm not going to get one in time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to emergency manufacture 2. So I've got 2 for practice. And then I'm going to rush manufacture 1 additional in case we bin it in first practice. So if we rush an extra 1, we can get that on day 1 of practice, and we'll get a second one. Actually, there's a 2-week gap, I think, between races, so we'll just rush 1. There we go. So that's the suspension taken care of. There's the new rear wing. Not going to see a huge improvement on the car with this, but it will be a little improvement, which is always important. So we're going to go ahead and rush 2 of those in. Not rush, sorry, emergency 2 of those in. And I'm going to go ahead and make 1 extra on a rush, so that we still potentially got 1 for race day if we bin it on Saturday. Let's go ahead and fit those to the car. And there you can see we do get a little bit of an improvement in high-speed cornering. Our low speed improves as well. We get a little bit of a boost to our acceleration. Definitely useful going into this next track. So, where does our car sit right now? Let's have a look. That's our overall ranking. Nothing spectacular. Some minor improvements. This is the day of the Grand Prix, so no developments for other teams are going to affect this here this weekend. So, where are we weakest? Let's take a look. So chassis is okay. Rear wing is okay. Needs some work. Underfloor is okay, but a new one would give us quite a nice little boost. Suspension should be good. It's not really. It's okay. Side pods aren't too bad. And front wing, a new one would definitely help improve our cornering, but you know, depending on how we spec it, that would be mitigated by concentrating on and keeping the braking stable. So I think we're going to spend our points and make one brand new underfloor. And this will be the last new underfloor we can develop this season. Or the last major underfloor we can make this season. So let's go ahead and design a brand new underfloor. And put all of our hours into that. So we're looking at 50 days without any slider changing. Let's see what Grand Prix are coming up. We want to try and get this... I want to try and get it for Spa, but we can't. Let's see if we can at least get it for Monza. So let's start playing around with the sliders. We want to improve drag reduction. We definitely want to improve high-speed cornering. Let's take a little bit of airflow sensitivity off. Let's drop that all the way down to there. That, as it stands, will get us to Monza. If I sacrifice a bit of low speed, push a little bit of high speed, no, medium speed, sorry. Take a bit of drag reduction off. That's still 2 days over. What about if I change the airflow sensitivity slightly? That's 64 days. There we go, that's 63 days. That's going to give us a nice boost to speed in terms of drag reduction. It's going to give us a nice boost to our medium speed and high speed cornering in particular. We'll get a nice little bump on our low speed as well. DRS top speed will improve slightly, but our dirty air performance will significantly improve, which is the most important thing. And it does allow us to focus more on that high speed against our low speed, because our low speed's pretty good. So let's go ahead and make that. And this is the last significant update we're going to make this season, I think, because I'm going to start using my points now for, or my hours going forward, I think, for research. So let's go ahead and lock that in. There we go. And I've got one engineer left. So let's start a research project on chassis. This is going to take 30 days. How long till the next ATR period? 59 days. Okay. Let's maybe look at side pods then. We're looking at 40 days there. There we go. So that's one engineer improving our drag reduction, our engine cooling and our airflow. And that will drop just before the end of the ATR period. And that's the last of our engineers. So all of our engineers are now locked into projects until the new ATR period starts. And that is us pretty much done, I think. Let's have a look at some facilities. Is there anything that we can do or needs to be done? Team Hub is going to upgrade in 2 days. That's good. We don't really need to upgrade the scout department any further. That's enough. Anything here operationally? Might drop another board upgrade on. Let's see, actually, how did the board react to the down, the downward trajectory from our previous 2 races? They were satisfied. Okay, so if they're satisfied, that's good. If they were disappointed, then I would have dropped another upgrade on them. But if they're satisfied, I'm okay to not spend any more money there yet. Let's go ahead and upgrade our tour center. And everything else is okay. So we've got just under 8 million in the bank and not really much to spend it on. We're going to be very cash rich with these regulations that we've imposed on ourselves, because we can't do any more facility upgrades. But the money won't be there at the end of the season. It will disappear, at the end of the season and just be money in the pocket of the board. So it is a use it or lose it situation, and we are probably going to lose it at the end of this season. But next season, upgrades are going to be a little bit more expensive, so we'll be able to use more of it before the end of the season. And that is it. That's where we are, going into the Red Bull Ring. So our car isn't amazing going into the next race. Again, I think we might potentially struggle. Let's take a quick look at the track. We've got a couple of low-speed corners that are really going to help us. The medium and high-speed stuff is going to hurt us. But thankfully, the low-speed stuff where we're strong is the DRS. Especially at the end of turn 3 there. Going into the final DRS zone. The fact that that's low speed and then coming out of the final DRS is also low speed will help us at least try and stay with the cars over the remainder of the lap to get DRS for the next lap. So we'll see how things go. We might fare better than we did at Silverstone, but I still don't think we're going to be able to challenge for points without that all-important safety car intervention. So how will it go? We'll have to find out tomorrow. That is tomorrow night's race at the Red Bull Ring. So until then, thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager Challenge Mode very soon.